Let's say you're thinking about getting into tech sales, or you already thought about it and you're for sure trying to get into this space. You're probably now asking yourself, what should I sell, right? Should I sell security software? Should I go for the cloud stuff? What is a smart idea in terms about what kind of products we should sell in tech? And how do we guarantee that what we sell is going to continue to be in strong demand for the years to come, so that way we can hit our quota? Don't worry guys, we're gonna address all those questions right now. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Untitled Chapter here, aka the best dressed man in tech sales. Don't forget it. And in this video, we're gonna break down, okay, now that you decided maybe you wanna get into tech, what on earth should we sell? And specifically what we're gonna get into is my perspective on the number one, hands down, best type of software that you should sell in 2023 and beyond if you're deciding to get into tech sales. So without further ado, let's dive in so you can get this insight. Now, enough background. The number one absolute hands down best thing that you can sell in today's market in 2023 and beyond is going to be data and AI tools or platforms, okay? If you have been following this space or doing studies or research, there's a couple of reasons why this space is becoming so hot right now and will continue to stay hot for the next 5, 10, 15, even 20, 30, 50 years. Now, one of the first reasons why I think it's such a smart move to get into data and AI tools today, if you want to get into tech sales, is because of all the buzz and all the hype that ChatGPT has generated. Now, if you haven't heard of ChatGPT, please wake up and go Google it. It is everywhere. People are talking about it left and right. And it's really showing businesses the potential here with AI. And this is the first time in history that AI has actually fallen into a more consumable product that people like you and I can understand. If we would have talked about AI 5 years ago, 3 years ago, 2 years ago, you would have needed a PhD and really sophisticated audience to talk about that stuff. But now they've got it into a format where people can just question answer type things and get the information they need with ChatGPT. So now all of a sudden organizations are seeing the potential to directly influence consumers using AI. And I also don't know about this with you guys, but for me personally, on all my news feeds, I'm seeing the emergence of these different AI websites. For example, there's a website I came across recently where if you just upload 25, 30 headshots of yourself, it will generate AI images for professional headshots, so you don't have to get a photographer. There are websites like Jenny AI that help with copywriting. And so if you want to write content or blogs or anything like that, this will help you get a head start on that. It'll improve your sentences. It'll help you brainstorm ideas. And there's so many websites that we can go on to, but AI is starting to proliferate every single application. And it's just a matter of time before AI becomes the new standard for productivity, content creation, and several other jobs in the workforce. Now, outside of that, there are some specific data points that I want to share from very, very noteworthy companies on why AI is becoming such a big thing, and more specifically, why companies are choosing to prioritize it today. All right, folks, so the first piece of insight comes from a company called Infotech. Infotech is a research and advisory firm. They write a ton of research and they survey IT executives to understand what they are prioritizing and what they care about. Now, in their 2023 CIO priorities report, they mentioned a couple of noteworthy stats about data and AI. One of the first things that caught my attention was, number one, they surveyed 521 manager, director, VP, and executive level folks and asked them what they're prioritizing for the year. And 44% of those organizations said that they plan on investing in AI in the next 12 months. And so what that means right there is that this year, right, almost half of these organizations that they surveyed, about 250 organizations just from this one survey, are planning to make investments in AI. If you are selling AI or data solutions, that is music to your ears, because what that's saying is this is becoming so important now that people need to invest in it. Outside of that statistic, there were 3 other little points that caught my attention in this report. Number one was the investment and attention they're paying to data quality, all right? Now, data quality, if you think about for a second, it makes perfect sense. If you're working with data, but it's full of errors, or it's incomplete, or it's incorrect, well then the decisions you're gonna make based off that data are also probably gonna be incorrect and incomplete, right? So if your data is not of good quality, it's probably not gonna help you out too much, right? So it makes sense that data quality is a big priority in my opinion. The second thing that really caught my attention in this report was the emphasis on BI and reporting. Now, if you've never heard of BI, all that means is business intelligence. What that refers to is a company's ability to analyze, process, and crunch data and then spit out meaningful graphs, charts, and reports. This helps executives make decisions, right? So think about it for a sec. If your business is really good at that, or you have a high ability to do that, you're going to be in a much better position to execute on your strategy and validate your decisions compared to your competitors. So kind of a no-brainer there, but BI and reporting is also very top of mind with executives according to this survey. The third thing that caught my attention in that report is that they mentioned that organizations are focused on preparing their data pipelines to train AI. Now, don't freak out. I know it sounds complex, but it's pretty simple, guys. A data pipeline is just referring to the way data flows from one point to the next. So for example, you like a photo on Instagram, right? You tap the screen. That event, the event of you liking that photo, gets trapped somewhere in a database within Facebook or Instagram. And they now know that you liked that photo, right? What can they do with that data? The algorithm then gives you more photos like that, so you can like more things, and it tailors your feed over time. So that's kind of what organizations are trying to do. They're trying to get better at collecting data, feeding their algorithms, so that way they can serve up their customers more of what they're looking for. The second item I want to shed some light on is the 2022 Gartner CEO survey. Now, if you've never heard of Gartner, they are producing reports all the time about what executives care about. And they did this CEO survey last year where they surveyed 400 senior executives in businesses, and they asked them about AI and their other priorities. And here's the stat that got me, you guys. They said 97% of senior execs that they surveyed are prioritizing investments in AI. Furthermore, they even said that they're also investing in AI jobs. So not even just the technology by itself, you guys, but they're actively seeking the people who have the skills and the knowledge about AI to come work for them and help them deliver on some of these projects. What that means if you're in tech sales is that if you're selling AI or if you're selling a data solution, you're gonna be in high demand. Those CEOs are gonna wanna talk to you because why? They're prioritizing this stuff and they're hiring people to come and execute on these projects, which means those people that they hire need tools. They need software, they need things to do their job, and guess what? We can help them get those things. The third data point I want to bring your attention to is a report that comes from New Venture Partners, and they surveyed 116 Fortune 1000 organizations and specifically asked the chief data officers about how their companies are thinking about investments in data and AI. And here's the statistic, you guys. It says organizations continue to invest in data, with 87% reporting increases in data investments during 2022. And that's just referencing the last year. But let's be real, guys. If that's the case, 87% of these organizations are increasing their investments in AI, guess what? That just means that their competitors, all the other organizations, are gonna follow suit. And so again, if you are in tech sales and you are selling a data, AI solution, platform, tool, whatever it is, you're in a great position to see success and continued demand for your product and service, not only today, but for the years to come. Now, the last data point I want to share with you guys comes from a report from KPMG, which is a huge global consulting firm. If you've never heard of them, give them a quick Google. But here's the thing. They did a survey with executives talking about generative AI. What that means, generative AI, is the ChatGPT type stuff where they're generating responses, language, all that stuff, right? Now, here's what they said about the survey and the executives' attitude towards generative AI. Number one, 65% of these executives believe that generative AI will have a high or extremely high impact on their organization in the next 3 to 5 years. 60% of them say that they are 1 to 2 years away from implementing their first generative AI solution. 72% of them agree that generative AI can play a huge role in terms of building trust amongst their customers and stakeholders. Very interesting. 45% of survey respondents say that it could have a negative impact on their organization's trust if the appropriate risk management tools are not implemented. Now, you might be thinking for a sec, ooh, maybe it's not so good, maybe it's not so smart. Wrong. The reason why this stat should also excite you is because guess what? There are solutions in the market that help leaders manage and reduce their risk when it comes to data and AI solutions. So again, if you're in tech sales and you can help them reduce the risk of an AI investment going wrong, you're in a great position, my friend. Last stat for you guys. They said that 72% of executives are optimistic and excited about using generative AI to increase productivity. 65% are interested and optimistic in terms of changing the way that people work. And 66% believe that it will help encourage innovation within their company. So don't just take my word for it, guys. I just read off a bunch of stats from very reputable organizations who are surveying actual executives in the marketplace who are making buying decisions. And guess what? They clearly care about data and AI. All right, so if you are thinking about what on earth you should sell in today's market, I highly encourage you to get into the data or AI space, because let's be real, this stuff is not going away. And as you can tell from some of the stats I read, some of this investment is just starting to begin. So 2023 will be a very pivotal year. And if you can position yourself to be an expert or even to be a novice expert and get in this field as soon as possible, I guarantee you will be a lot better off than some of your peers who are not in this industry when it comes to having consistent demand for your product, ability to hit your quota, and having a nice pipeline of people to sell to, because there's so much interest in this space. So there you have it, guys. That is my take on what is the absolute best thing to sell if you're getting into tech sales this year, next year, or for years to come. That said, if you enjoyed the video today, please hit the subscribe button below. Also, if you're not doing so already, go follow me on LinkedIn. And last but not least, if you are trying to break into tech sales, or you're already in sales and you want to learn about how to differentiate yourself from other sellers in the marketplace, go ahead and check us out at the B2B Syndicate. See what we got cooking up over there. All right. With that said, guys, hope you enjoyed the video, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Take it easy now.